Here's the thing. If you are the leader and you train your staff, these are how decisions are made. And then you start labeling different decisions with the certain levels. Now your staff is better informed.
Welcome to Innovating Education. I'm Dr. Riley Williams, and in each episode, we explore bold ideas and breakthrough strategies shaping the future of teaching and learning. Today's guest, Steve Bollar, widely known as Stand Tall Steve, is a former superintendent, national keynote speaker, and author whose work focuses on strengthening school culture through clear, actionable leadership. His latest book, Just Do This, offers school leaders a direct, jargon-free guide to improving climate and culture. Steve, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much. I'm excited about this. Appreciate it.
Well, for those who may not be familiar with your work, can you introduce yourself and give us a glimpse into how your journey has shaped your approach to leadership?
So yeah, my name's Steve Bollar. I go by the title of Stand Tall Steve. And the reason why I go by Stand Tall Steve, for those who are listening and can't see me, I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'7" tall. I'm, 6'7", black man, bald head, gotta be a ball player. That's not who I am. I'm not a basketball player. I come from New Jersey, all the way in southern New Jersey. I'm about a half an hour from Philadelphia. And my career started off as an art teacher. I taught art, painting, drawing, sculpting, pre-K to third grade kids, little tiny people, barely came up to my hip. Did that for several years. Then I moved on to become an assistant principal. Most of my career was as a building level principal at the elementary level. Absolutely loved it. I mean, everything about that job was just wonderful, just helping schools and educators move forward. Eventually became an assistant superintendent and then a superintendent as well. And I even did some work in the charter world as a superintendent of multiple charter schools. Well, all while I was a school principal, mostly as a principal, I really got into the art of professional speaking, of public speaking. My father is a preacher. When you're a preacher's kid, you get in front of people and you talk. So I was really good at talking. And so I started thinking about what it is that I wanted to talk about. And the one thing about my schools, when I was a leader in these schools, is the culture and the climate was phenomenal. It was electrifying. It was good. And it wasn't just good because by happenstance, it was purposeful. We specifically did things to make sure that the environment was good so that the learning and the instruction could take place as well at the highest level. So it was very purposefully done. So I started speaking and training specifically about school culture and climate. And with the monocle of Stand Tall Steve, it kind of grew and grew and grew. And so for the last 7 to 8 years now, that's what I do. I speak to schools, education, K-12, about three things: culture and climate, leadership development, idea development. That's it. That's my three areas. So that's me pretty much in a nutshell on what it is that I do.
And for our listeners, it's so much more than that. Let me tell you. So, with Steve, he's got some really deep things. So, we're going to dive head first.
Mhm.
Now, Steve, you've mentored many aspiring leaders. What do you tell them about the parts of leadership that no one talks about, but everyone eventually faces?
Yeah. Well, when you're looking at leadership, and you're right, I've worked a lot with leaders. I work in K-12 schools. I talk to teachers and such, but my main wheelhouse is leaders, specifically teacher leaders, building level leaders, principals, assistant principals, and such, superintendents, directors, assistant superintendents, and them. And when we're talking about leadership, I really like to zone in on, and this also works with the world of when you're talking about culture and climate, is identifying what you respect and value and using what it is that you respect and value as the avenue to make the decisions that you need to make, to gather people around you, move them in a certain direction, as well as using that value, those values, as a way to empower your staff. A lot of times educators, they want to empower their staff, but they hold on to things too tight, like they have to do everything. If you can identify shared values, shared understandings, and be collectively engaged with that, that's what opens up that empowerment so that you can empower your staff, you can empower others to go forward and do things because now they have that anchor. Everybody's agreed upon that one commonality. So that's a really big thing that I focus in with a lot of leaders. And even with that, there's a lot of leaders who still just don't get that. Having that be the centerpiece of their leadership is huge. Between that and your vision, being clear in what your vision is for the school, because I say to leaders all the time, if you have a vision that nobody else sees, what good is it? I mean, seriously, I mean, let's think about this. I mean, you have this vision for your school, and let's even go down to the classroom level. Okay, teacher, you're the leader of your classroom, right? Leader of the classroom, leader of the school, leader of your department, leader of your section, your grade level, whatever it might be, and you have this great vision, but you don't talk about it. You don't mention it to people. You're the only one working on this vision, and you're in your office banging your head against the wall, wondering why aren't these people moving forward? You have to talk about that vision. You have to speak on it. If you're a building level principal, the only time you talk about your vision is the beginning of the school year after the bloodborne pathogens presentation, and then and that's it. You have to talk about it. You have to make it alive and anchor that to what you respect and value. That's the big thing for leadership right there, you know?
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about mistakes.
Hmm.
How should leaders think about transparency when they've gotten something wrong but still have to lead forward?
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, it's interesting because we have different types of leaders, just like we have different types of people, right? We have some people. We're not even talking about leadership here. Just people. They can't admit their mistakes in a heartbeat. All right. Everybody listening right now, you can picture the person in your head who I'm talking about, right? There's certain people, it's like no matter what, they can, nope, wasn't me. Oh, but this, well, if this didn't happen, well, you know the reason why. Well, it could have been, oh, stop, right? An essence of leadership is when those that you're in charge of, that you're serving, because that's what leadership is, you serve them, to them to be able to know that when a mistake happens, you can take ownership of that. When things don't go right, you can say, these are the reasons why, this is my part in those reasons why, and let's move forward. Because not only are you dealing with the situation at hand, you are also teaching those that follow you how to handle mistakes and problems as well. So there's two sides to it, right there. What you need to do in order to develop the integrity and the loyalty, so to speak, of those around you, and what is it that you're teaching them about how to handle mistakes as well. And then in turn, let's say you're a leader in a school, you're teaching this to the staff, and then the staff in turn is teaching it to the students. It does trickle down that way. All right, so that's a big piece of it. So when we're talking about the mistakes that you make, things that don't go right, fine. It might be outside influences or things that may cause those mistakes or problems that may have, but still find what your piece in that and state that piece clearly to everyone else. And that level of respect is going to come wholeheartedly because they're going to be on board with you and you're teaching them something. Here's the thing. There's a thing that I teach a lot of the leaders, which is the 5 levels of decision making. All right. Because basically mistakes come about because of decisions and things that you make. So I go over the 5 levels of decision making with the leaders to help them have a better understanding about how decisions are made and what you can do with it. Am I all right to go through this thing here a little bit?
Please,
Okay,
yes.
here we go. All right. So the 5 levels of decision making. Now, mind you, Stand Tall Steve didn't create the 5 levels of decision making. It came from, I believe, from corporate or something. You can go online and you can see it. But I'm going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to give you the magic behind the 5 levels of decision making afterwards, as it relates to education. So level one is you're the leader. You make the decision. No input from anybody else. I'm making this decision. It's usually reserved for emergency situations. Something happens. Boom. Got to make a decision. You do this. Go here. Do that. Whatever. Right. Perfect example. I was a elementary building principal one, and we have morning arrival. All the kids were coming in, buses, parent drop off at the whole 9. Hailstorm comes in, like it's out of nowhere, just boom. I don't have time for a caucus. I'm going to tell people, keep those buses there, hold those cars right there, custodian, get a runner right here, get those kids, boom, boom, boom. That's level 1. Level 2 decision making is you, the leader, are making the decisions, but after you get input from other people. So this is where you go around, hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Okay, now you're better informed and you can make a better decision. All right, you might use what they say, you might not, but you tell everybody, thank you for your input. This is what I'm going to do. All right, level 1, you make it. Level 2, you make it after others' input. Level 3 is we make the decision together. All right, this is when you have a committee. All right, everybody sit down. Let's have a committee. My voice as a leader is no higher than anybody else's. All right, We do the vote, let's all vote. We have majority vote. That's what we do. It might be somebody else who's in charge of this whole process, but you're in the mix. All right. Level 1, you make it. Level 2, you make it after others' input. Level 3, we make it together. Level 4 is you're the leader. Now, I'm going to tell you to make the decision after I give you my input. All right. See how it's switched now? Now, I'm empowering you. You go. You make the decision. But first, before you make your decision, remember this, don't forget this, and this is your criteria in your outline. Go. All right. So now we're starting to empower others. And in level 4, you're informed. You keeping the email strain so that you can understand what's going on. But now you're empowering others. All right. Level 1, you make it. Level 2, you make it after others' input. Level 3, we make it together. Level 4, you make it after my input. Level 5, I'm sure you all can follow along at this point. You make it, no input from me whatsoever. All right. You know the vision, mission, values. You know the expectations. Go. Right. Perfect example for level 5 is coaching. Like somebody who's a coach at a school. I'm not going to come out there and teach you how to coach. You know what you're supposed to do. Go win. That's your job. Go have fun, win. All right. So we have the 5 levels. Level 1, you make it. Level 2, I make it after. I make it. Level 1. Level 2, I make it after your input. Level 3, we make it together. Level 4, you make it after my input. Level 5, you make it. And leaders need to know these different levels because you're making decisions constantly all the time. And that way you can kind of see, when we're talking about mistakes and things, we know where things are going to fall. But the goal is what? Empowering other people. So therefore, here's the magic of the 5 levels of decision making. I told you I'll give you the magic. The magic is training the entire staff on the 5 levels of decision making. That's the magic. And you're thinking, what do you mean? Here's the thing. If you are the leader and you train your staff, these are how decisions are made. And then you start labeling different decisions with the certain levels. Now your staff is better informed. Now they're more accepting of what's going on. You send out your Friday focus email to the staff. Hey, we have to make a decision on this parent event going on. It's going to be a level 3. We're meeting at 2:30. Instantly, everybody knows. Committee, we're good. Hey, we have a PLC meeting with your grade level. We have to decide on what we're going to do with this grading. I'm going to swing by. It'll be a level 4. Instantly, they know. It's going to be our decision. He's coming by or she's coming by. Give us the input. It empowers people. You don't use it for every little single decision. I mean, truthfully, level 1 and level 5, you don't need to announce. But level 2, 3, and 4, you start using that, people start understanding. And then when mistakes happen, let's say it was a level 4, they were doing it, it turns into a hot mess. As a leader, you can say, okay, I need to pull it back to a level 2. It just makes it easier. That was a long answer to what you were saying, but I think that it encapsulates the whole concept of decision-making and then making the mistakes and what you can do with it.
No, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you actually went into that. One of the other things that you often say is to reduce, not eliminate. And to me, that reframes success as progress, not perfection. So, how does that idea show up in your own leadership, especially for leaders who are exhausted by shifting mandates and just want something that works?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I say this, reduce, not eliminate. And I use this a lot actually when I do my full day trainings and such, especially as it relates to culture, climate, classroom management, leadership development, things such as that. I always start off with that reduce, not eliminate, so that those in the audience and educators everywhere, and even those who are listening now, you grab this understanding. And I tell you what, it's almost freeing for you in that in schools, we have a lot of issues, problems, and concerns. We just do. And when we have an issue, problem, and concern in schools, what do? We put together a committee. That's what we do. we right? We love a good committee. Right? Get a committee together. Let's talk about it. It's level 3, right? We talk about what we need to do to what? Eliminate the issue, problem, and concern. We have an attendance issue. Let's get rid of it. What can we do to end it? We have a behavior issue. What can we do to end it? We have a learning gap issue. What can we do to eliminate it? What can we do to... You're not. I'm sorry, you're not. That kid, and we do that in air quotes, we know who that kid is. That kid has been around for hundreds of years. That kid has been around for thousands of years. When that kid leaves, another that kid's going to come. I mean, it's some of you listening to this, you were that kid. All right. So getting together in a committee to say, what can we do to stop this kid, that kid behavior? You're not. But it does make sense to do what? Reduce. What can we do to reduce the issue, problems, and concerns? Now you're working in a realm of reality, right? We can reduce some of these issue, problem, concerns. We have mandates that are coming in that are causing problems. What can we do to implement these but reduce the impact? We're not going to eliminate the impact, but reduce it. We have little Stevie who runs out of the classroom 7 times a week, right? And what can we do to reduce it down so that he's not? Now, here's the other side of reduce, not eliminate. Recognize the reduction. Recognize the reduction. Because what happens is this: we put things into play to help reduce, but then we get the reduction and we're still upset. Stevie's running out of the classroom 7 times a week. We put in some things and now he's running out of the classroom 4 times a week. And what does the teacher do? He's still running out of the room. He's still disrupting the class, but it's reduced. Recognize the reduction. Now, if you don't utilize the time that you just got back from the reduction, that's on you, right? Recognize the reduction. Because again, that kid's going to be around for thousands of years. When that one leaves, a new one's coming in. The behavior issues that you see, it's still going to be there. But that's what I mean by reduce, not eliminate. And that just makes sense to me, you know?
I feel like this is a great segue to transition into your book.
Mm-hmm.
Just Do This. What was the tipping point for writing it, and why this book? Why now?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've been doing speaking, training, consulting 20 some years, for the last 8 years full time. And whenever I go anywhere to speak to educators, to speak to teachers or administrators, directors, superintendents, leaders, I try to give them things that are simple and easy to implement, and I found myself saying to them, well, just do this. No, you don't have to, don't do all that 17-step process. No, just do this. No, wait, no, you don't have to, you don't got to do all that, those three. Just do this. Because there are things that they're easy to implement. Because that's the thing. I mean, think about it. As educators, you go to a professional development. You sit there and you listen to the professional development, and the person giving you the professional development is either giving you tons of theory, or they're giving you this dissertation that they did on the development of the brain in children, and they're the expert and they're teaching you this. And how are you supposed to implement that? How are you supposed to do this? You're not the I mean, yes, it's good information, but truthfully, I need to get back and teach. I got to go back and do discipline. So instead, just do this with the concept, the mindset of reduce, not eliminate. We're not going to eliminate it, but if you just do this, you can reduce it. And if you reduce it, recognize the reduction. So the book itself revolves around what is necessary to improve the climate and culture in schools at the classroom level, building level, district level. And at the end of each chapter, I talk about whatever the concept is and what you can do. And at the end of each chapter, it clearly states, this is how you implement it in the classroom level. This is how you implement it at the building level. This is how you implement it at the district level. And it's seriously, at the end of each chapter, just do this. I'm telling you, this is what you got to do right here. You can do it within a day. Sometimes at the building level, you can do it within a few weeks to a month. District level, of course, things take a little bit longer at times, but this is all you have to do. And the people that have read it, people that have digested it, they're like, oh my gosh, is it that easy? Yeah, it really is. And I'm really proud of it. I'm so proud of this book, because it's just do this. It's not that hard to do.
The brilliance of this book, I think, is that it's actionable. Read it. You will take away strategies that you can use, like you said, today, within a month, later in the district. Now, you've also structured the book around 3 areas: people, policy, and practice. What do you want leaders to understand about how those 3 interact?
Well, here's the thing. let's start with policy, okay? Because even though it works well with people, policy, and practice, but let's talk about policy. Policy is the guidelines of how to do things, right? It is the bigger picture. It is uh, the compliance, okay? Because again, schools are very compliance based organizations, and you have to have those policies. And so when you're thinking about what you need to do as it relates to climate and culture and your leadership, there needs to be sensible guidelines in doing this. You got to think about those policies. You got to think about your strategic plan. I mean, there's a thing in there where I teach a district exactly how to develop their strategic plan. Like, it is so outrageously simple. People, nothing against the consultants that are out there that these schools that they hire to do this. It's not that hard, y'all. All right. Develop that strategic plan. Here's the policy. This is the overall practice of how you need to do. Then we talk about people. You have to understand what people are about. We're emotional creatures. And you put policy out and you put expectations out. We're emotional creatures. Things hit us differently. So there's a positive spin in all of this. There's some things in there on how to handle and deal with difficult people so that you can implement these things, some guardrails out there, but you have to work with people. How do you work with people? How do you make people feel better about these things? How do you give better examples for them, exemplars for them, so that the people can actually pull it all in? I mean, I have a big section where I talk about compliance versus commitment. All right. Compliance, commitment. Compliance is the policy. Compliance is the basics, right, of what needs to be done. Check it off a box. But what do we want? We don't want people just to be compliant. Just compliant? That's all you got is compliant? That's a low level of accomplishment. You want commitment. Now, if they're committed to what you respect and value, people are committed collectively. Now you're going to go a lot further. That goes back to that value-based leadership. And then we talk about practice. Well, these people have to do it, right? And so therefore, that goes back to what we're talking about being easy to implement. We want them to be able to put the practice in to do this, and it has to be simple enough and easy enough for them to say, oh, well, okay, I could do that. All right. Because most educators, they say, well, we have this new program, and everybody folds their arm like, oh, here we go again. And then they say it. Oh, wait, that's it? Yeah, that's it. Put it into practice. Oh, I can do that. Now, understand the word of practice. Practice means you do it again and again and again and again and again and again. You don't practice just once. You have to practice multiple times in order for something to happen. A lot of times we do it one time. We say, oh, it's not working. No, do it yet again and again and again and again. You have to keep practicing it. Now, here's the thing that's going to blow people's mind. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
If you are practicing something and you're doing it over and over and over and over again, eventually that becomes a tradition. And a tradition is nothing more than a fancy word for culture. That's how you create culture. You keep doing these things over and over and over. It's the power in the repetition. It's the power of the practice that the people are doing because of the policy. Boom! I hope you keep picking up what I'm putting down, people. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. There you go.
Now, would you mind sharing with us one specific strategy from the book that's easy to overlook, but makes a huge impact when done well?
Oh, let me see. Wow. Oh, there's a lot of different things I'm talking about. Let's go with daytime DJ voice, nighttime DJ voice. All right.
Okay.
All right. I talk about this when I do some of my trainings and my keynotes. All right. So what I'm talking about, this is about the recognition side of this, which is a big part of your culture and climate. You need to recognize people when they do what it is you respect and value. And when I say recognize, we're not giving anybody anything. Like, we're not doing certificates, pencils, stickers, trophies, nothing. Recognition is open your mouth and say something nice. Okay? That's what recognition is. So when I'm talking about speaking to kids, I say daytime DJ voice, nighttime DJ voice. So let's think about the radio. All right. Some people still listen to the radio. I do. The late night DJ voice, like the late night, 1 a.m. DJ voice. What does the late night DJ voice sound like?
Low, deep, slow.
Yes, low, mellow, soft, slow. Hey, y'all, Big Steve on the radio, man. Sit back, listen to these smooth tunes, right? That's nighttime DJ voice. Mellow, soft, smooth. Now, daytime DJ voice, or even better yet, let's go with morning. Morning, daytime DJ voice. What does that sound like?
That sounds like traffic at 8 a.m.
Yes, early, fast, hyped up. Hey, good morning, everybody. We got some great things going on I-95. There's a backup that's happening right there. The weather outside, I mean, boom, excellent. Boom, going, quick, fast. That's the daytime DJ voice. All right, we have our two voices. Nighttime, soft, mellow, smooth. Daytime, hyped up, energetic, whoop, whoop, over the top. Here's the thing. I believe in schools, a lot of times, many staff members are using these voices backwards when talking to students. Student does something wrong, do something that goes against what you respect and value. Hey, get over here. What are you doing? How many times do I have to tell you? Look at yourself. What grade are you in? That's your daytime DJ voice for something negative. Student does something right, something that you respect and value. Good job. Keep it up. Proud of you. Way to go. That's your nighttime DJ voice for something good. No, it's backwards. Backwards. Student does something good, something that you respect and value. Way to go. Look at you. I'm proud of you. Yes. Keep it going. Awesome. Student does something wrong, something that you don't respect and value. Hey, come here. What's going on? Let's have a talk. What's happening here? The only time you should use a daytime DJ voice for something negative is for safety reasons. You have to get their attention right away. But after you do, you bring it back down to the lowest emotional level. Think about this, all right? Just think about tweens and teens, all right? Middle school and high schoolers. They're used to getting the daytime DJ voice when they get wrong, when things bad. They're used to that. They're used to people getting hyped up and all that stuff. I don't care. If it could be pre-K to 12th grade. Kids love to see adults get hyped up. Why are they only seeing you get hyped up over negative things? Switch it. That one little switch, that little minds, switch it over. You're going to get a different response out of these kids. They're going to realize the only way to get any hype out of these adults, out of these teachers, out of these administrators is to do what it is you respect and value. You're not going to get that hype out of the negative things. So there you go. Nighttime, daytime DJ voice.
So, what's one key takeaway that you hope listeners walk away with from today's conversation?
I think the main thing is that I think we're making things a little too hard, right? And I get it. There's some hard stuff out there. There's some difficult conversations that we need to have. But I think when it comes to the environment within the school, so that it is conducive to learning, conducive to innovation, conducive to positive behaviors, it's not as hard as you think, right? You just have to, you got to identify what you collectively respect and value. What do we all respect and value in this classroom, in this building? And then once you have that, you can make decisions based off of that. And then you recognize kids when they do it. You recognize adults when they do it. Empower them for that. Making those decisions. Pull them in when you need to. It's not that hard. Just do this. It's an easier thing to do than you think. Grab the book. I have an event that's coming up in December that relates to Just Do This that you can, we can tap on a little bit later about. Yeah, that's the thing. The big takeaway, it's not as hard as you think. Take a minute, slow down, think of some solutions, and reduce, not eliminate. You may not eliminate it, but you can reduce it. There you go.
Wow. That's a great way to end. But for those listeners who want to dig deeper into your work, grab a copy of Just Do This, explore your resources, bring you in to speak. Where's the best place for them to connect?
Best place to connect is my website. Go to standtallsteve.com, standtallsteve.com. My email is Steven, Steven, at standtallsteve.com. As I mentioned before, I'm connecting with the Innovative School Summits. Innovative School Summits are the biggest K-12 conferences in the country. The San Antonio one, the one that's happening in San Antonio this coming year, I'm partnering with them, and we're doing a 3-day Just Do This boost camp. So this is a time for your school teams to come together with me, and we're going to look at your culture and climate. We're going to put things into play, and it's going to be half a day, full day, and then that half day leading up to the Innovative School Summit, where you're going to just have that time with me to take your culture and climate to the next level, your leadership to the next level. It's going to be amazing. So reach out to me if you want me to come to your school. If you're interested in the Boost Camp, you can reach out to me. Go to my website, standtallsteve.com.
Steve, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hey, thank you. This was fun. This was great. I am so glad that I have a chance to come here and share with all of your listeners.
Well, to our listeners, I highly encourage you to check out Steve's website. Again, that is www.standtallsteve.com. Check out his podcast too. It's the School Climate and Culture Show with co-host Megan Deed, and grab the book. You're not going to regret it. Also, as a reminder, we are proud to be sponsored by the Solvia Learning Group, whose commitment to advancing education makes conversations like this possible. So, if today's episode sparked ideas or helped reframe your thinking, I know I did, please be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with a colleague. Until next time, keep innovating, keep inspiring, and keep making a difference.